Welcome to this game development stream using GDevelop 5. In this video, we are going to write a PHP script which will help us change the password, which will help the user change the password. And if there will be time, we will also write a script to change the profile picture. So let's get started. In the previous video, we had generated a password reset code and which will be given to the user at the time of creation of their account, and they can use that code to reset their password in case they forget their password. And if they forget the code, there is no way that they will be able to reset their password, right? And along with the code, they will also need to remember their usernames. So there's that also. So what we will do is we are just giving them their code for password resetting. I think we should also give them their username. I mean, they entered their username, but maybe they will forget it. So we will just give them that username in a nice frame which they can screenshot and keep in their phones or in their computers, and later they can enter that information to retrieve their password, change their password. So uh, wherever we are sending the response or creating the response, which is response when there is success, this is where we are creating that response. Along with code, we are also going to you know print their username, send their username to them, because the code is not very useful without the username, and the username is just whatever they provided us, right? So we will send them that, send it back to them. They will remember the username for maybe 1 or 2 days, but later they may forget it. So we'll just send it to them and ask them to, you know, screenshot it and keep it in their phones. So that's what it is. And let us now create the script which the user can use to, you know, reset their password. So I have created a new file, and in this new file I will just copy the beginning, this code, and paste it and close the PHP tag and save this file as uh, password reset.php. Password reset.php. Okay, that's good. Now we will need some variables to hold the code which we can receive from the post request. But first we need to check whether the request which we are receiving in this script is a post request or not. So just copy this and paste it here and close it, and then copy the else part, which is all the way at the bottom, and copy it and paste it. So that's good. And here we will just if the request is post, that's good. Now in this password reset script, what will we receive? We will be receiving the username and the code for resetting the password. So we have to receive two things from the post request. The first thing will be the username, and the second thing will be the code, and then we need to sanitize them. So let's copy the sanitizing syntax, which is this. Username is sanitize, and I will copy pasted it again, and then which is this is code. So we'll sanitize the code also. Okay, let me type some comments here. Receiving uh, values from post variables, sanitizing the received values, right? So that's what we did, and after this we can simply open our database, open the connection to the database using this, copy this and paste it simply and indent it properly, right? So this looks good. You can also do it this way. That looks okay, I guess. That's okay. Okay, and after opening the connection to the database, we have to run a command which will be a select command. So let me just copy this these two actually, and just paste it here. SQL command to check whether this pair of username and code exists or not, because if it exists then it means that the combination of username and code which the user has provided is correct, and then we can attempt to, you know, let attempt to change the password of that user, right? So there's that. One more thing, along with these post uh, variables, we will also receive one more variable which is called password, because we are going to do everything in the same script. We are not going to, you know, uh, verify their identity in one script and let them change the password in another script. We will just do all two things in one script, that is verify whether their code and username is correct or not, and change the password also in the same script, because it will be easier for us. We will not have to make two separate scripts for that, right? Just I will just receive the password also, and I will have to sanitize the password, which I will just copy this statement to sanitize it, and here sanitizing the receipt, well, sanitize password. Okay, that's cool. And yeah, if now this statement should be something different, where username is username and code, and the field in which we are storing the code is actually called validation field and not code. So I will just type validation is equal to, I can just type code, and in the bind parameters I am binding the placeholder username to the variable username, and I will bind the placeholder code to my variable code, right? Now if such a record exists, then a record in which the username is the username supplied and validation is the code supplied, if there will be only one record which will match it, I mean at one time for every user, you know, the record which matches the code will be only one, right? Because our username is unique, we are not allowing duplicate usernames. So if you can say that this statement will always return either 0 rows or 1 row, it will never return more than 1 row, right? So that's the limitation on this statement, inherent limitation, because that's how we have structured our database, because usernames are unique, and if we are matching the username with some username, then it is bound to return us one record, and but if the code is not correct, then it will return a zero record, right? Username should be some username and code should be the code provided, If both of these conditions are not satisfied, then this statement will return as 0 records, and if both are satisfied, it will return as 1 record and not more than that, because usernames are unique, right? So that's good. So we know that okay, we have to change one person's password, because one person will only be able to change their own password, right? And then we have to execute the statement. So I will just copy this whole thing, copy the whole thing, and just we will remove what we don't want, indent it. Okay, and you can indent this also properly. Yeah, we will execute the statement, and if the number of rows is greater than 0, then success is true. Yes, it matched. Message, we will not take any message. We can, you can just say we don't need to look for duplicates, right? Or you can exactly say this is equal to 1. If row count is equal to 1, which means that this statement returned 1 row, then it is good. That's what we want. And if it returns anything other than 1, if it returns 2, that's wrong. If it returns 0, that's also wrong. So in both cases it will be false. In any other case, like if it does not return 1, then it will come to the else part and we will say that it's false, right? We cannot proceed with the transaction. So make a variable also to keep track of whether we can proceed with the transaction or not. uh, what we will call it, proceed with the transaction, right? You can call proceed with transaction is equal to, for by default it should be false, right? Yeah, let me put it like this. By default it should be false. Proceed with transaction is false, and if we encounter any error anywhere, then also we should not proceed with the transaction. Here also in our response, but it's not necessary to put it here. We are basically concerned with whether we are able to find the correct number of records in or not. So I will just put it here, response, no, not response, actually this, proceed with transaction is equal to, in this case it will be true, but in this case it will be false, right? And what message will we give here? You can give any message, because we will be replacing that message with something else. Okay. mm, Code verified, which means that yes, the code which you entered for your username was correct, code verified, and if not, then we will say error occurred, please try again, right? So that's good, and that's how we are verifying whether the code is being matched or not with their username. This is the code to do that, the whole thing, this whole thing. So, and now we have to actually change the password, so we have to run an update statement. Again, let me type some comment, SQL command to update the password with the new password. We have already uh, taken the new password from their post request. So when they will enter their code and username at the same time, they will enter the password also. And if their code and username matches, then they will simply change their password and tell them that password changed successfully. So we have to run an update statement. Just copy this one and paste this. And instead of select statement, we will write an update statement. I will say update users set password is equal to password where username is equal to username. That's it, because usernames are unique. right? Users update the table users and set password is equal to placeholder password, where username is equal to placeholder username. So that's good, that should work, because usernames are unique, so it will only update one record. So I will just uh, put two bindings here for username. Wait, for first of all, for password, it should be password, right? We are taking the password from the user in their post request, and username should just be username, right? So that should work properly, I guess. Yeah, and let us execute the statement. Just copy this. If stmt execute, and then do it like this, type the else part also, and if the statement gets executed, then we will put our response variable and tell them that okay, yeah, that's good, I mean, we have changed your password, congratulations. Yeah, and one more thing of caution: when you are doing with proceed transaction, always set it to false in the beginning, and don't set it to anything else in any other part of the program other than here. If this statement becomes true, then only set the proceed with transaction to true. Otherwise, don't set it to true anywhere else. Let it be false. And here it will be false by default. By default it is false, but we are explicitly telling it to be false. And that its value should be set true only here and nowhere else. This is very important. And here also, before running this command, we should check whether if proceed with transaction is true or not. If proceed with transaction is true, then we will run this whole thing, otherwise we will not, right? That's very important. Yeah, so that's good. And if the statement executes successfully, we will just put some message in our response variable. First of all, for success we have to say true, that yes, we achieved success, and then in response variable again we will type a message which will say password changed successfully, right? Yeah, and that's it, I guess. Yeah, and if it did not execute, we will just say response success is equal to false. I will just copy this. Success is equal to false, and just type password. Could please try again. Error occurred. Please try again. That's good. And here also we will type error occurred. Please try again. In the else part of this statement, else part of this if, right? So we'll just type this thing and paste it here. That's good. That's good. That should be good. So we change when we will, and here we will put a response, echo a JSON response, right? First, let me change my variable to null, my database connection to null. It's not necessary, but I'm just doing that, just like that. Okay, yeah, and then just a statement, echo the JSON is echo our response variable by after encoding it into JSON format. So that should be okay. That should be good. That should work, right? That should work. And I also forgot one more very important script, a script to login. We did not make a login script, because I mean after registering, that should be the next step, right? We simply made a password reset script. So let us first, this script is good, it should work. There may be some error, we will find them out. And after this, let's make the login script. So to make that login script, just copy the first few lines of the PHP previous PHP file and save it as login.php, right? Login.php. And we will also check whether our request is of post type or not. So just paste it here, and then also take the else part from all the way down here and just paste it, and then here. Yeah, that's good. Now if the request is of type post, then what will we receive in a login form? We will receive username and password, right? Let me receive username and password from our post request. Username and password. Let me sanitize them. I will just copy this whole thing and paste it. I will remove the code part. We are not receiving code here. So let me copy these comments also. Right. So that's good. And yeah, one more thing. In this password reset script, we have to hash the password, right? We are just storing it after sanitizing it. But after sanitizing it, we must hash the password. The same way we did here. So nothing very crazy. Just copy these two. Copy the comment and the command also. And just after sanitizing the password, just paste it here. And that's it. We have hashed our password. Right? So that's good. And here also, we have to hash the password. Why, you ask? Because we are doing a one-way hash, which means that we can create the hash code of some value, but we cannot take the hash code and get the value back. It is not possible, right? So when we receive the password from the user, we store it after hashing it. So the hash code of the password is stored in the database. And to log in again, we must take the password from the user, generate the hash code of the password, and then match that hash code with the stored password. And why will this work? This will work because the hash code for one value is always unique. If the user entered, suppose, the password XYZ, then the hash code of XYZ, no matter when you calculate it, will be the same all the time, right? So that's how it will work. We will match the hash code of the password and not the password itself, right? So yeah, because we didn't store the password, we stored the hash code of the password. So when we receive the password from the user for logging in, we will take the password, convert it into hash code, and then match the hash code which is stored in the database. That's what we will be doing, right? So that's why we created a hash of the password in the login script also. So to log in, we will again use this command. First of all, we have to open the connection to the database. Oops, let me do that. Copy and paste it here. And after this, we have to type this SQL command. I'll copy the comment on binding also. And I will just simply SQL command to simply login, right? And here I will check the username as well as I will check the password instead of the code. Password, right? And here username is username and there should be password here. Password dollar password, right? That's good. And here we have to copy this script, this part also and paste it here. And if we get exactly one row, then we know that whatever data they entered is correct, and then only we will allow them to log in, right? Yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right. And if they are able to log in, yeah, that's okay. Cool, cool. Yeah, it will work, right? That's good. So now in this case, I think we have to again get a variable called proceed with transaction. Let me type a comment. This variable will store the boolean value, which will tell us whether we can proceed with wait with our transaction or not, right? So that's what this variable will do, right? That's good. And yeah, that I have to copy this whole thing and paste it, and this variable should be set row only when we have found only one row in this statement, right? So that's good. Okay, if we have found one row, and this means that they have entered the correct username and the correct password, so in our response variable we should also just, you know, just say them that yeah, we will send back their username and password. We don't need to. Maybe we will username is equal to dollar username and password is equal to dollar password. We'll just do that, and that's it. And I don't think we really need to uh, have this variable proceed with transaction here, because we don't need that. That's because we are not doing any other transaction after this. That's all, and here only we are deciding whether it is true or false, and we are just going to simply echo the value true or false. Echo the value with whichever is inside the response variable. So I will just copy these two lines and just paste them here. That's it. That's how you can log in. Log in, password reset, add user data. We have done all this, and now let me just you know, push these changes to the GitHub repository, and from there they will go to Heroku web app, and we will just test it out whether these two scripts are working or not. So git status git add dot git commit -m add password reset and login script git push origin master. So yeah, it send the data. Let me go to Heroku and see, verify if it has deployed it or not. Yeah, it has. I will open Postman to send some requests to my server. So we have a add user data. In this one I will just type the name of the script which we want to test, and that is password reset .php and login.php. I will put the login.php in a new tab, and I will just type login.php, password reset, add user data. So that's good. And it will be a post request here, it will be a post request here, body. Now let me first see how many records I have already. I have no record. Let me first add some records in the add user data. So bunny password, cool guy, whatever. You can type anything. I will type I think I don't know, figure one, yeah. So yeah, figure one was made, and then I will type figure two. Figure one has this code and username. So yeah, that's okay. I have the code in the database. Figure 2 added, figure 3, figure 4. If I type figure, it will be added to, and if I type figure 1, it will send me an error. This username is already taken, so that's good. So now we have some records to work with. We have 5 of them, and password is same because we didn't change the password, so the hash code of the password is same as well, right? And profile picture, bunny picture, and validation code, right? Now let's first test our password reset script. What uh, what are the things which the password reset script wants from us? Let's see. The password reset script wants from us username, code, and password. So let's give it to it. In the body, this should be post, and go to the body tab, and here just type username, and in the second field type code, and in the third field you can type password. You can arrange them in any way. You can type password first and code later. It's not a problem. Username, let us do it for figure user. And the code for figure is, let us see, for figure the code is this. So I will just copy it. I hope it's copied, and I will paste it. And the password which is a new password, which is not the old password, I will type figure password as the new password, right? So that's good, that should work, and let's test it. Yeah, password changed successfully. So now I should have a different hash code of the password for the figure user. Let's see. Yeah, you can see that the hash code for the figure user is different, which means his password is different, right? So this script is working, and this was just a positive test. We tested for what it should do. If you type something else, suppose I type something else, I type here this, it should not work, right? Because this is wrong. Let us see what it shows us. Error occurred, please try again. So that's what it should. Yeah, that's working. If I don't type a password, if I type nothing, suppose, right, nothing, so that should not be accepted, right? So we have not tested for nothing, which we should test. uh, Suppose the user types nothing, then what will it do? It will just simply, let me do it here in the adding record addition thing. I will just choose nothing for the password, nothing, empty, null, and some other user, figure 8. and I will send. It will still say me create account created. It will create my account. And it created account and it gave me a hash code for, I guess, null value. That must be the hash code for null value, whatever. And that's not good, right? Because anybody can type, can just leave the username field null and just send account created. See, I have created an account for username null, no name, just blank, null. And if I create another account with the username null, will it be created? Is null equal to null? Let's see, let's find out. And I will just simply send it again. No, username is already taken. So it is actually telling me that null is in fact equal to null in MySQL. So it will not take another user with null value as variable. So yeah, I mean, this says null, but this doesn't say null. However, it is null. Uh, what we should do is we should avoid taking null values from user, and therefore, whenever we are receiving values from users, we will now check whether they are null values or not, because this is very important. And so in our add user data, first we have to do this in all three. We are receiving three values here and none of them should be null. We should check that, and then only proceed. um, I think we can do that by putting all this code in an if statement, right? So let's do that. Let's type, first of all we need a variable uh, null value found is equal to true. By default, we will just assume that the user has given us null value. This variable will keep track of the fact whether we found any null value or not. Right? Null value found is true by default, because we are just assuming that the user will do something wrong at first, right? So if I wonder if this works, password is equal to null, then dollar null value found is equal to true. If username uh, dollar username is equal to null, I wonder if equal to null works. Let me see. Equal to true. If dollar profile picture is equal to null, we'll just see null value equal to true. And apart from null, we should also test for space. Some people will just type space, okay, and some people may type a long set of spaces, long string of just space bar. We have to test against that also. That should not be the username of someone, right? So what we will do is we will trim spaces out of the strings. So let me first check the syntax for the trim statement. Php trim all spaces. Let me see if there is a neat command for that. How to trim all spaces out of a string? I can simply use str replace function to strip or remove all spaces inside a string. New str replace. That's a good way to do it, I guess. PHP, what is this? Oh, that's also good. So this preg replace will perform a regular expression search and remove spaces, tabs and new lines also. So then you will have to know about something about regular expressions, which I have also forgotten. I don't remember all the things which I read about regular expressions, but apparently you can specify uh, what kind of characters you want to, you know, identify in a string. So this is how they are identifying this little expression is actually not some gibberish. It is a very well formed expression which says which tells the PHP, which tells PHP to identify spaces, new lines and tabs, and whenever it will identify them, it will simply replace them with this, which is null, no value, right? So I will just simply copy this because we don't want to get into regular expressions here. You can see, learn more about them, but it is going to take a lot of time really. I have simply copied this code in order to remove all white spaces, all spaces, tabs and new lines. We don't want either of them. So and we will do it for all three. Password, wait, password and username. Just copy that. And we will do it for profile picture also. Profile picture, okay. I wonder if this will work or not, but we will see. So if null value is found, we will not do all this. We simply tell the user null value found, you please try again, please enter some other value. That's it. So if our variable null value found is true, then we'll put in our response success is equal to false, and the message should be uh, null values are not allowed. Please enter another value. This is not a very user friendly statement, so we should write something like empty values are not allowed. Please enter a string. Please enter another value. That's it. And that's it. And in the else part, if we have not found any, if null value has not been found in all our three variables, then we will simply do all this, and I can just put my end my else statement here. It is not indented, but it will work, right? Yeah. And not here, you can just, oh, no, yeah, here only you can again echo the JSON encode response here. That's that's good. Let me indent it. I think there may be some better way of indenting it automatically. I think indent, no, auto. I wonder if there is an auto indent function. There is, but It's okay, it's not there, look like. I will just indent it by hand. It will take some time. So I guess you don't have to watch that. I will just pause the video and indent the file and resume it again. And so yeah, I will put this response to up there where I found the null values, and from here only the program will terminate simply. If the control reaches this point and if this is true, that is we found null values, then program will just put the response put some values in response variable and echo it and just terminate. Nothing else will happen, right? So that's what it is. It was important for us to find null values, and we have to do the same thing in all in the other two files also. So let's do it. And first of all, just copy this variable and paste it here, and copy these three and paste it here. We are receiving password, we are receiving username in this file, and we are also receiving code. So I will just put code here. Right, and then again we have to check for null for all three. So do this simply and paste it here, and I will just indent it. Instead of profile picture, we are receiving code. And null and and or should I type this? Or if it is null, or it is this. This is also not what we want, right? And just copy that whole thing again. It should not be this also, which is empty string, which is not null actually. Null is something else and empty string is something else. So we should check for that separately. Right? Yeah, that should work. You have to do this in the previous file also. Yeah, so that will take care of. We will take care whether it is either null or it is empty string, and we don't want either. That's good. Yeah, that should work. And what is this? Null value found. Null value found equal true. That's good. Let me now just put that condition again. This one here, and else part is this. I will close the else somewhere after this, and now I'll have to indent it. I will indent it, pause the video, indent it, resume it again. So I have indented it, and it should work. Now I will do the same thing in the login script. After checking the values and maybe sanitizing them, I will check if they are empty, and also after replacing the white spaces, I will check if they are empty. We are receiving username and password and not the code. I will remove the code part, and then simply put the if command, if statements here, copy them and paste them. We need the value, a variable, null value found or not. Copy this variable and just paste it here. Yeah, and that's it. And then I will just put the if null value found statement here and put the close the else statement here. That's it. And now I will again indent it, and so I have indented it successfully. It's looking good. It should work. So yeah, let us see if this code of ours is actually working or not. For that I have to just push it. So it has done pushing, and now let me see that if it is deployed correctly or not. Yeah, I deployed. So now let us see if it is accepting null values this time. So I will just go with this. It should show me that show me this statement, right? Empty values are not allowed. So let's do this. So yeah, it's showing me that empty values are not allowed. Please enter another value, because I am entered empty values here. And here also, if I enter empty values in password reset, I am enter just empty values. All three are empty. I will send it. Empty values are not allowed. Or suppose one of them is not empty, then also empty values are not allowed. So it's working. Here also in login script, we didn't test it at all for the real thing. So let's first test it for the real thing. So password was bunny password. I will try to log into the account of figure1. And what are we taking in login script? We are taking password and username. So I will just apply password and username, password. So we will log into the account of figure1. His password was bunny password. We will not type the hash code, we will type the password. Username was figure1 and password was bunny password, and it should work. Should show me that I logged in successfully. Oh, it is saying me that empty values are not allowed. Please enter another value. That's not what it should show me. Hmm. Oh yeah, so this script is working fine, but why is it not showing me the response? Oh, we are not setting null value found is false anywhere. So we have to type the else statements also. Else, if this is not true, then null value found should be false, or simply just say null value found is equal to false. So by default, null value found should be false. By default, we will just assume that there are no null values, and later we will just check for the null values, and if we find them, we will say that Yes, we found them, so they are null values. I have to push that also. So let me check if it is applying properly. Yeah, it did. Now again I will send the same thing. So yeah, I am able to log in, but the message which it is sending me is, yeah, that's the message which I wanted to send. Yeah. So yeah, the login script is working, and if I put an empty value, it will show me that empty values are not allowed. Hopefully, yeah, empty values are not allowed. So we have done that. We will be taking care of empty values in all the other script from now on. So yeah, that's good. So these two scripts were made today, and we still have to write the script to uh, change the profile picture, and the script to update the values from the game, and this script and this script. So we still have to write 1 2 3 4 5 6 more PHP scripts in order to complete the server side function of our game. So that's it for this video, and if you are enjoying this stream, please join me in the next video as well. Thank you for watching.